I realize most people are always chasing after money, but they don't understand what is money. In the simplest terms, money is just a tool. Money is supposed to trade value, measure value, and store value. But the problem is that the money that we use does not store our value. Like, in order to understand money, you have to go back in history. Before money was created, there's something called bartering. What that means is I have something, you have something, let's trade. The only way that would work is if you have something I want and I have something you want. So let's say I don't know, I have a pair of shoes because I'm a shoemaker and you have eggs and you're like, I want a pair of shoes, I have eggs, let's trade. But I'm like, I don't want your eggs, I already have eggs. I want a hat. So I would have to find someone with a hat. And it just wasn't that easy, right? So it came to a point where money was created and it's like, okay, if I have these shoes, I'll sell you these shoes for money and then I could use that money to go buy the hat that I want. So basically, money was created to make trading or exchanging things easier. The core functions of money, remember I said you trade it, you measure it, and you store it. Trading your money literally means being a medium of exchange. It means you could buy things and sell things with your money. So like food, rent, gas, if you want to clean your shoes, if you want to go to the laundromat, basically the things that we need and use and want in society. The second one is where we measure the value of money. The official term of it is really called a unit of account, which basically means we measure things by the price that they cost. So a cup of coffee could cost, I don't know, $5. A burger could cost $10. Rent could be $2,000. So it's literally just you put a measuring unit on the thing. And then lastly, the value of your money should store over time. It should become valuable over time. So if I know that I'm working today and I'm saving my money, that money that I save should be able to afford me more things in the future. So overall, money is a medium of exchange, a unit of accounts, and a store of value. Remember those three things. Those are the most important functions money could be. Good money only. Out of those three functions, every form of money should follow all three. The money that we use and the money that's been used over time has never been a good store of value. It's literally in the name. You store your value. Money should be something that contains your time and your energy. So we all work for dollars, right? We all go to work, we all do things, we create value in order to get dollars. But the problem becomes that we're trading in our time and our energy, and those things are limited for money. When that money loses value over time and it doesn't store your value, you're losing time, you're losing energy, and you're losing purchasing power. You're losing the value that your money has in the future. A good form of money is supposed to store your time, your energy, your effort, your life force, your purchasing power, and a bad money literally leaks it. That's why everyone is always feeling so stressed and soulless and dead because the money is broken. One big thing that people mess up when they're talking about money is that they confuse currency with money. Currency is just what we use day to day. A currency could be the US dollar, the Japanese yen, euros, pesos, whatever country you're in, whatever the native currency is in, that's the currency. Money is what protects your value. It's what stores your value. It does all three things, especially storing. Just because dollars are useful because you spend them does not mean that they're good because you can't store them. You can't store your value over time. Now, remember what I always say in my videos. The dollar is losing purchasing power. The reason why the dollar is losing value is because they're able to create more. They're able to create more and enter into the system at any given time. When more money enters the system, the dollars that you hold become weaker. Remember, if you have a cup of orange juice and I add water into the cup, it looks like I have more juice, but now the flavor in that orange juice is weaker. Why? Because I diluted it. I added more water to it, so it looks like it's more, but it really is weak as heck. So every time more money gets added into the system, the dollar you hold becomes weaker and the prices of goods and services go up in the economy. Prices aren't going up because things are getting magically better. They're going up because now there's more dollars and there's the same amount of goods and services. So now you have money saved up for retirement or money in your savings account, and you're like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna retire by X years. Well, remember, the money that you have saved now isn't going to buy you the same amount of stuff that you could buy now later in the future. And that's the thing that always messes people up. Let's say that this seashell that I have is like a one of one, right? And it's valuable because it's rare, nobody really has it, you can't really make anymore. And suddenly, a company replicates the whole thing and they somehow find a way to make it out of the same material. And now, instead of me being the only one that has it, there's like a million people in the world that have this same seashell. You know what's going to happen? The value of that seashell is going to go down because it's no longer scarce or rare. The more people that have this seashell, the less valuable that it becomes. I know you're probably wondering, Jami, why would I care about this? Why would I care about this? You should care about this because you go to work every single day and you're saving in a form of money. I'm going to just say a currency. You're saving in a currency that gets diluted over time. And when you go to the grocery store, you're paying more in groceries. When you go to move, you realize, oh my God, I can't find a good apartment because rent is going up. When you go to buy a car, you're like, dang, all these cars are super expensive. None of these cars are getting any better. You're like, I'm saving all this money, but my money isn't really affording me the same life. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's that the system is working the exact way that it was designed to. The system isn't designed for you to save your money and progress. It's designed to keep you working harder and harder and not being able to afford everyday life. That's why I always say investing isn't an option anymore, especially what you invest in. This is why I always say you need to save in Bitcoin. Bitcoin can't be controlled, it can't be created out of thin air like dollars or stock. It doesn't lose value every single year because one Bitcoin will forever equal one Bitcoin. If you're pricing Bitcoin in dollars, it looks like it's going down and up, down and up. But if you actually do your research, you'll realize one Bitcoin will forever be one Bitcoin. The only thing that is moving up and down is the denomination in dollars. Bitcoin literally makes you question what is a good money. Bitcoin has every single function of money and currency. Before I learned about Bitcoin, I didn't know what money was. I didn't understand it. I knew how to spend my money. I didn't know that dollars are useful for spending, but they're not useful for saving. And after I learned about Bitcoin, I'm like, wait a minute. Why would I keep working so hard and saving my money when they can just dilute it? When they can just press a button and create more, and now my money is worthless. Like, the problem isn't just that prices are going up, it's that your purchasing power is going down, and it's not your fault. Money is supposed to protect your time, your energy, your life force, and your purchasing power. So why would you save in a currency that's doing the opposite? It's like you're working backwards. All you have to do is get income. You work a job, you have your own business, whatever it is, side hustle, and then you save a portion in Bitcoin. It's all you have to do. It's literally that simple. You don't have to go through all these different stocks and all these different companies in order to find the thing that's going to free you. It's really that simple, and I really hope that you take this financial journey very serious because it's something that impacts all of us and we don't even know it. Like, a lot of people like to say, oh, money isn't important, money isn't this, I don't prioritize money. Well, guess what? You need money in order to survive, and you need money in order to buy things. And if you didn't think money was so important, you wouldn't be working for it. So it's literally that simple. If you want to dive deeper into the problem, I would look at the Hidden Secrets of Money series on YouTube by Mike Maloney. It's one of the greatest series I've ever watched in my life. After I watched that, I was like, yo, I'm being scammed, I'm being robbed, and I need to do something about this. And then I went into my Bitcoin journey and I was like, bet, I'm going to be financially free, and everybody else is going to be living in the fiat system, unfortunately, until they come across this information. So knowledge is power. Never forget that. Knowledge is power. The more informed you are, the better decisions you can make and the better life you will have. Money is a tool that we use to exchange value, measure value, and store value. Never forget that. And once you understand that, you can start looking at dollars, inflation, saving, and Bitcoin completely differently. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.